Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be president of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at...
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8th electoral vote, in Indiana with its 11th electoral vote, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into Cobra Cast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage of the 199, and I just realized something. I forgot to put the little overlay up right there, but if we're going to put the overlay up, I've got to get another one designed. So we'll do this one right here, and then we'll put that up. There we go. There. Now we've got the Cobra Cast overlay. We got the blue. We're good to go now. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. I am Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of the 199. Happy to see all of you here tonight. Good to see all of you here tonight. And I'm hoping that you're having fun like I am. Man, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to discuss. And man, the Elon hate is just out of this world. These clowns, the Democrats, like they truly have completely lost the plot at this point. And I don't know how much worse it's going to get, but they are lying about Elon Musk and President Trump to a point where they are showing their true insanity. And it really is the best television show you could ask for. The mindless Democrats and the leftists versus, people with common sense is essentially what it comes down to, because I don't even view the majority, maybe the small majority of Trump supporters are actual like Republicans, conservatives. I think that a good chunk of people that support MAGA simply support common sense. I think that's what it's all about. Simply just supporting common sense. This isn't complicated at all. I mean, like this meme right here that I saw earlier, this puts it into perspective right here. This weirdo with the rainbow flag shirt, says, I love Tesla, buying their new Tesla. Then CNN says Elon is Hitler. And this same person goes and tries to burn and destroy Teslas. That right there is it. That is it in its most simplest form. These people are fucking crazy. The term NPC is the only description for these clowns. They have no original thoughts at all. They are NPCs in the game of life. And as soon as they get a new update, this is what they do. They used to worship Elon Musk. They used to worship Tesla. Tesla people were like iPhone people. You had to know that they owned a Tesla. Them owning a Tesla was everything about their personality. I own a Tesla. I am better than you because I own a Tesla. That's how they always were. They had to let you know that they had a fucking Tesla and they didn't have to pump gas. I have an electric vehicle and I have a Tesla. And now they're literally trying to burn Teslas to the ground. It's fucking insane. Unbelievable. But anyway, we will be talking a lot more about all of that. Let me see who all is here in the house. Babo Yogi with the Get the Membership. Thank you. Shadow Science says, Jeremy, it's time to use the new Sydney Sweeney loop when a proper 199 drops. It's the only correct choice. Even F&T used it. I'll have you know, I already have that downloaded. I've done a bunch of research on Sydney Sweeney clips. And I do have that one ready to go if a proper 199 drops tonight. We shall see. Lying Dog Face Pony Soldier with it. Get the membership. Thank you. Vault 95 says, Demik Rat Police found me. They're trying to get in. John freaking Murdoch for 50. Hey, Jeremy. This makes it even with F&T. It was a moment of weakness. I got hypnotized by Gary's glasses. It's all good, John freaking Murdoch. Good to see you here, brother. Supporting F&T is supporting G&G. All right, it's a G&G production. Obviously, it's a Nerdrotic show, but G&G is a producer on that show, so it's all good. But I appreciate you supporting me wherever I go. Greatly, greatly appreciated. So thank you so much. Hail to the 199. Let's see. Drunken Emerald Arrow says, it's your fault that I now have two of on my show I do weekly, showing us anyone can do a show. Hail the 199. That's what I try to do, man. I'm just here to show you that if you are retarded too, you can still succeed because I can succeed. Okay? That's it. That's all it comes down to. The Raven and Writing Desk member for 6 months. Thank you. Wyatt Wingo says, how do I keep getting this gifted membership? Because the 199 and the Snake Pit is full of awesome people. That's how it keeps happening right there. And I'm sure that it won't be the last one that you receive because we have awesome peeps up in here. Swig of water for the working man. Emo Atako says, wow, Jeremy, that actually made me feel better. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to make everybody feel better about themselves. And I think I do a pretty good job of that for the most part. But if you want to feel even better about yourself, I've got a really funny clip to show you right here. Right here. Check this one out. Joy Reid says that America would lose a war with Canada. So you have Don Lemon and Joy Reid on a podcast together, a couple of failed mainstream clowns.
Grampy Trump, let's talk. Let's talk. First of all, you can't make Canada the 51st state without going to war with them. And let me explain how that happened, how that worked out the last time we tried to go to war with Canada. They burned the White House to the ground in 1814 and won the war. Canada beat us in the War of 1812. They probably like their chances against us. We're not going to beat them in a war because we have never been able to do that. You'd have to occupy a country that is equivalent of the size of the United States, in which the top 2/3 of it is uninhabited, frozen forest land that touches the Arctic. You know how that worked out when the Nazis tried that with Russia, which is the equivalent of Canada on that part of the world? We gonna lose. We don't have enough troops to occupy. They are a country of 39 million people who have about as many guns per capita as we do.
It's just unbelievable, man. How is a person that stupid? I really, it is impressive to be that stupid. There's only one thing to add to that.
Fuck these people.
Man, Alex Jones has lost a lot of fucking weight. One more time, just to see, he has lost a lot of weight.
Fuck these people.
That's crazy how much weight he's lost since that clip. That is crazy. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Joy Reid is one of the stupidest people on the planet. That is not even that's not even a debate. That's a fact. A very stupid person. Drunk Emerald Arrow used to be Galaxy Express Media with a 1776, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Do these lefties realize the more Teslas they burn, the more slave labor that needs to be used to replace the lithium and cobalt? And they don't care, and they don't think. Like, they're just out there to run their mouths and say stupid shit. NPCs are in Oz. NPCs in Oz are the same. They worshipped Elon. Oz. What do you mean? What do you mean Oz? Like the great and powerful? Huh? I didn't know what you were saying at first. Elon and would hear all about it all the time. They got their download. Now it's EDS, hate, and crickets. Bro. I know it's like the Wizard of Oz. That's all I know as. So is that Australia? Is that what that is? What? How the fuck does OZ mean Australia? Explain that. How do you get OZ in Australia? The fuck is wrong with y'all over there? How does that even work? Can someone explain that? Ozzy Osbourne? Australia's not a real place anyway, okay? So, all right. Yu-Gi-Oh! Casual says, did you ever read the super chat I sent 2 CobraCasts ago? I guess. I mean, you sent one. I remember reading it. I don't know specifically, though. Mike Zero says, I noticed in your Snow White review in your car, you drive a standard. That's those who call you gay probably can't drive a standard. You're not that gay. Dude, listen. All the people, I would say 75% of the people that talk shit on the internet can't drive a standard. All right. That's just the reality of it. Okay. So, I would say 75% of the people on the internet that talk shit can't drive a stick. So, Shadow Sand says Russia equals Canada. Mike Zero Sources, Joy, we're better shooters. Come at the hillbilly. And by the way, I've heard from you all, and I think I'm going to now just make it a series. I'm going to do car reviews. I'm going to do car video reviews while I'm driving. And dude, the amount of comments on there telling me that you're not being safe by driving and recording. Shut the fuck up. All right. I don't need a bunch of women and gay men telling me how to drive. You sound like a woman if you think that I can't drive my car and talk at the same time. Jesus, What is wrong with these people? I am a better driver than you. There is a 99% chance I'm a better driver than anybody crying, saying I can't be driving down the road in my stick shift Mustang GT because it's too fucking loud and I'm being dangerous. Women. That's who we're complaining. Women and male feminists. I was pathetic. I can't believe he's driving a stick shift and he's recording a video. Oh my God, this is so dangerous. Good Lord. Anyway, AJ says, we would beat Canada now. Darth Gavel says, Yasuke the liar says Orange Man bad. Of course. Too Tired says, remember those assistive robots Elon debuted before the election? My mind just clicked. He's probably looking to fine-tune that technology to use them to prep construction for Mars. Hey, you never know. I mean, Elon has got a lot of stuff cooking, man. And he is truly a person that thinks so far ahead of his time. And we are not prepared for whatever Elon is cooking up. That's for sure. And the lefties know this, and this is like really they're basically the left is acting like scorned lovers right now with Elon. They're really mad that Elon has walked away from them and they can no longer claim him. That is essentially what is going on right now. It really, like, they looked at him like he's our genius. He's our genius. And now he's walked away from all of them. And they don't really know what to do. So instead, they're doing shit like this right here. Here we go. I'm not gonna play the audio here, but this is a Georgia State. So this is what they're doing right now because they're lashing out because they're really upset. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I mean. So these people are completely broken in every possible way right now. Now, there is this clip right here that I wanted to play for all of you because here we go. The View. I did not know about this story. I saw this video uploaded just a little while ago. But The View apparently is upset because Donald Trump has real the Oval Office, and they're upset about this. So here we go right here. This is really, really freaking funny to me.
It's Liberal Freakout Friday. The lovely ladies at The View are mad at 47's Oval makeover.
He's like the interior decorator in chief.
My mic cut out for a minute. Is it back? Am I back now? Test, test, test. Are we good now? That's weird. All right, is it back? Looks like it's back. Okay, we're back. All right, here we go. Let's back this up then.
It's Liberal Freakout Friday. The lovely ladies at The View are mad at 47's Oval makeover.
He's like the interior decorator in chief now. I forget the nuclear button. I don't even trust him with the button that gets him a Diet Coke. I know. He has plans to completely retool the Kennedy Center also. Have you heard that? Is there no safe place to go anymore with this guy? You can't even go to the gym. A gym, that's good.
But if a Coke button sets her off, Joy's head's going to explode after the Pentagon named a new Boeing fighter jet F-47. Greg Gutfeld, you were saying in the green room that women usually are the ones that do the interior redecorating. And it wasn't really a man's place.
Oh God, you nailed it word for word. Yeah, but I didn't say women. I used a different word.
Right.
Joy does need a makeover. That's why she's jealous. Unfortunately, funeral parlors, they're pretty expensive. But you know what? It's like you watch The View, it's like you're transported to the past, you know, like an old beauty parlor where they trade stories that they just read in People Magazine or National Enquirer, and they have ladies putting tin foil in their hair, and they go, I thought my friends would hate Trump, but I guess not. The View is for people who get their politics from The View. And again, like Anna Navarro is like, she can't understand why Trump people like Trump. She's the neighbor, again, that's looking over at the pool party next door and saying, why are they having so much fun? That doesn't look like fun. The heated pool, the young, energetic bodies, the margaritas, the hors d'oeuvres. Meanwhile,
that is so accurate. That is so accurate. They are so jealous of what MAGA is and the enthusiasm and the excitement. They're so fucking jealous of it.
Having the time of their lives. I think that like miserable people, they couldn't identify joy unless it was a panelist on The View.
This is true. Chris for $30. Hail the 199. Love all of you fuckers. That's what's up right there. Thank you for the $30 and right back at you. Appreciate that. Zack Attack says just playing Xenoblade Chronicles X and not playing Assassin's Creed Shadows while watching my favorite streamer. The scale of Xenoblade X is insane. I just started so I didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles X when it was on the Wii U. But I did get this version, and yeah, I mean, the game is huge, and the reason I even wanted to start playing Xenoblade Chronicles in the first place is because of the stage that was in the Smash Bros game, because that stage that was in Smash Bros just showed you this incredible scale and scope, and I'm like, this looks like a world that I want to be in. And yeah, so I can't wait to get further into it. So everybody's, and it looks like I haven't seen any of the videos on it, but it looks like that they already have this game that is going to be designed for the Switch 2 as well. So can't wait. By the way, we're going to be live reacting to the Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd on the Geeks Gamers Play channel. We're going to set that stream up here pretty soon so people will know that it's happening. So I am looking forward to it. I can't freaking wait. Continuing on right here.
There's so many things for liberals to get mad at. To put a Coke button in there. I mean, you got to choose your battles.
I think they honestly, I think like a good beauty parlor gossip session is so way better than The View these days. It is so boring. I mean, they're so predictable.
Yeah.
So predictable. It used to be, you know, when Barbara Walters created that show, it used to be that there was some actual dynamism going on at the table and there were interesting views going back. Now it's just like, I can't be bothered. I mean, I don't know who has the time to watch this show, but it's nowhere near as good as gossip at a beauty parlor. And I think that, do you think Trump is pretty involved in the decorating at the White House?
Donald Trump.
100%. 100%.
He's a hands-on
My
guy.
Declaration of Independence right here, but I want to reveal curtain.
There is no doubt that Donald Trump is involved in every aspect of that. No doubt. Because he is an alpha. He is a leader. He wants to have involvement in everything. So there's no doubt about it.
In front of it.
Well, you know about the room that's set up next to the Oval Office. He's made that his own after Bill Clinton sullied it.
Yeah. Yes, he did sully it. Look, the man has built an empire. I mean, he's built hotels around the world, and they begrudge him the fact that he wants to move some furniture around in the Oval Office. I mean, they're so petty. They're so irrelevant, you know, and they talk about decorum in the White House. Where was the decorum and where were they when there was cocaine found in the White House? Where were they when Jill Biden was conducting cabinet meetings in the White House? They were nowhere. And now, I mean, what about the tranny who lifted his or her shirt with the boobs showing at the
Yes. Judge just dropped the word. Let's go. I gotta replay that one again. I'm hyped.
In the White House, they were nowhere, and now, I mean, what about the tranny who lifted his or her shirt with the boobs showing at the White House? You didn't hear whatever. You know, you didn't hear them complaining about that. And the truth is, you know, your office should reflect who you are. My office reflects who I am, and it's none of your damn business. And the same with the president.
Did you know that he added the gold pieces on the mantle at the Oval Office?
Yes.
So, yeah, I was looking at it the other day and I thought, I don't remember seeing those there before. And you go back and look at pictures and it was plain, but now it has a little bit of, it has a Trump flourish on the marble.
Jason, chicks love this stuff. Did I call you Jason?
Why did you just call me Jason?
I don't know. I have no idea. What's
I'm
your name again?
conscious that
Jesse.
It's my
Jesse.
time that you
Stroking
guys are
out.
doing this. I love this stuff.
Jason.
I'll still never forget. This is back when we had the G&G house in Orlando, and we were going on a road trip. I think we were going to Vegas. This is years ago. I think we were going to Vegas. And I had rented an SUV. I'm driving. Krista, Steph, Jay. I think that was it. And then, so we're all in the truck, and all of a sudden, Jay says, "Where's Kevin?" And we're like, "Who? Kevin, where's Kevin?" I'm like, "Who the fuck is Kevin?" "Beardo, that's his name, right?" I'm like, "No, that's not his name. His name is Trevor." He's like, "Oh yeah." Like, what? Like, of course, another J moment right there.
What's going on?
What's up? What's up? This is ritualistic that the other side just criticizes the other side's decor. I got a whole. Yeah. What has Nurse Jill done with our White House? My God. Jacob Schneider from Trump's rapid response team. Greg Price, Jill Biden's Christmas decorations look like what would happen if a group of circus clowns projectile vomited all over the White House, which I guess is a perfect metaphor to sum up the last 4 years. And I'm sure we could.
The whole point is they all agree with each other. No, I mean, that's the whole point.
The whole point is
boring.
That is not the point. You're upset that they're cricriticizing your king. And I'm telling you.
Oh, my king? The
No.
king? Oh, he's the president, darling.
That it?
I'm done. Yeah.
You're done. Yes,
Signing
you
off.
are.
Signing off. We just got a big upgrade.
She's paid to be exactly who she is. I don't even hate on her at all. I really don't. She's paid to be who she is. So I don't even get mad about it. They need to have a lefty voice over there. So more power to them, I guess. Let them have it. Sola Felix says, let's see, AUS short for Australia, which translates to Oz Fig. You know what? Fuck all that. Okay, I'm from America. Australia is not even a real place. I have that confirmed, by the way, that Australia is not even a real place. Black Kane says, did you see that white George Floyd wants to wrestle Tim Walz for charity? I did. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up really quickly. This is pretty funny. And look, man, Tim Walz is a piece of shit. He's a clown. He's a bitch. Is this it right here? Yeah. So Kane was on with Benny Johnson today. Here we go.
So you want to write a check to charity and fight them. Here we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Well,
you've done, you put your money where your mouth is, as you've
Yep.
done your entire career.
Yep.
And you've posted right here on social media, hey, man, we're going to raise tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars for this fight. I'll gladly pledge money to charity for this. I'll add it. We'll add another 10 grand. How about that?
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
So we'll put
We're at
more.
over $50,000 in
There we
pledges
go.
at this point.
Great. So let's make it happen, right?
Yeah.
You versus
Yeah.
Tim Walz. You're serious about this? Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, no, I am serious about this because, as you just said, you're going to pledge money. I've pledged money so far on Twitter. These are legitimate sources on Twitter that have pledged up to $50,000, and we also have a potential corporate title sponsor. So this could raise a lot of money for charity. We'll split the gate 50-50 between our chosen charities. So his charity gets half, my charity gets half. And it's all for a good cause. And look, I mean, seriously, no one's going to get hurt. I promise you that. I've my entire career in wrestling, I was very good at taking care of people. But nevertheless, man, if you want to get in the ring with me, there we do. There it is. And let's just do it for charity. Let's do it for a good cause.
Tim Walz won't do this. There's no chance in hell. Speaking of wrestling, no chance. There's no chance that Tim Walz is going to do this because Tim Walz is a bitch. That's simple. Not a chance that he takes him up on this offer, because what it does is Tim Walz, by doing that, he legitimizes Glenn Jacobs. That's what he does. Instead of, Glenn Jacobs supports Nazi Trump. Instead of like that, they start embracing him, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, he's not that bad of a guy anymore, is he? And they can't have that narrative out there. They can't do it because that would be a big problem for this evil bullshit narrative that they're trying to create. Dark Schwartz rising for $20 and says nothing. Let's freaking go. Value Renegade for 50 says that YouTube lists this show under gay bar. Never mind why gay bar is in my search feed. Why is gay bar in your search feed, Valiant Renegade? I think you just told on yourself. What have you been looking up, Valiant? Valiant, what have you been looking up, buddy? That's a problem, buddy. Thank you, Valiant Renegade. Hail to you, brother. Black King, I got that one. Patty McShane says, some bitch hit through me as I didn't exist, so my neck and car is fucked, but Trump is my president, and I'm here for the Jades riddled chat. No eyebrows. Holy shit, that was a lot. I wasn't sure where that was going, but thank you. I appreciate it. Warbreer says, Jeremy drives a manual for the field. No, I drive a manual because I'm not a bitch. All right. I don't have to walk. I don't have to drive around with my soy latte. I drive a manual because I'm not a beta male. So yeah, weak people need their automatics. Okay. But if you're going to have a sports car, it needs to be a 5-speed or a 6-speed. Mine is a 6-speed. Okay. There's two, like, my rules always, and maybe as I get older, that'll change. But I mean, I'm pretty fucking old now, and I've always had a manual when it comes to sports cars. But like back of that, I will never own a 6-cylinder Mustang ever. It's never happening. My Mustang actually is not, it's not stock. I mean, I have headers, I have Flowmasters, I have a few other mods on there. So, I mean, that's why my car is loud as fuck. And there was nothing better than hearing all of these people crying, saying that the exhaust is too loud in his video. I can't hear it. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, do you think I'm upset that you think my exhaust is so loud that you couldn't hear me? You're complimenting me when you say that. That's a compliment. Oh, your mufflers are too loud, Jeremy. Yes, exactly. That's the point. Nobody needs to hear me. You need to hear the rumble of the engine. Mike Zero Source says, I drive a stick shift Mustang too. Patty McShane says, also deciding a fight isn't worth it, isn't losing. Also deciding a fight isn't worth it, isn't losing. I don't know if in reference to what you're at, I don't know what you're in reference to there specifically, but it's all circumstantial. So Solo Felix says, Salty Cracker was envious of your car. That's awesome. People ask me, actually, people have been asking me what they want to see my car. I had a picture that I will show you. This is back at the G&G house right here. That's my car right there. So there it is. And that's my old truck in front of it. But that's my Mustang right there. 2013 Coyote 5.0. It's lowered. You really can't. I mean, my tires do not scrub, but it is close. It has been lowered though. So yeah. Anyway, that's that. Everybody's been asking if since that video, everybody's wanted to see it. So, Grand Potato says Jeremy drives a stick to practice his grip. You just enjoy your automatic or your fucking Tesla so you can drink your soy latte. It's okay. Southeastern Kaiju says your car videos literally save lives. Looks like there are going to be a lot more of them because that's the first one I've done in a long time, and the people want it. So the people are going to get it. Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh! Casual says, finished Invincible Season 1 last night, and now I'm on Season 2. It's such a good show. Robot is my favorite so far. I bought myself Omni-Man hoodie too. I haven't seen Invincible. A lot of people have talked about how good it is. I have not seen it. I did watch this movie. What's the name of the movie that I watched the other night on Netflix? with Josh Hartnett, the M. Night Shyamalan movie? Trap? I'm looking it up right now to see. Trap. There you go. Yeah, Trap. Don't watch it. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. If you know anything about M. Night Shyamalan, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. So you're gonna there's good about it and there's bad about it, but you end up frustrated when it's all said and done. Samurai Vader says, you're getting into Xenoblade. It makes me the happiest. Square stage in Smash is Guire Plain from the first Xenoblade. Memorable soundtrack. Give it a listen. I will check it out. It is. I'm just now getting into it, and it's just a cool ass world that I want to know more about. So, Chris Whiting for $40 says, I want Valiant Renegade to shout me out. If he doesn't, at least I have my beta Jeremy. Look at that. Thank you, Chris, with the $40 super chat. Let's freaking go. Thank you. John freaking Murdoch for $50 says, your car is white. I thought for sure it would be dark blue series, although your car sounded awesome as you were shifting gears. Hail the 199. Well, because I am not racist, I typically like my sports cars to be black because I'm not racist. But yeah, my car is white because Ryan basically just demanded if he's going to stay working at G&G that my car had to be white. So that was a request from Ryan. But in all seriousness, I don't want to paint it black because the paint job on it's too good, but I do want to put a flat black wrap on it, but it's way too expensive to do that. So I'll have to be waiting for a while on that. But yeah, I mean, for a good wrap, it's probably going to be like $5,000 to $7,000 with door jams and everything. So I'll be waiting a long time for that one. So Veronid says, cheers for $20. Thank you. Appreciate that. Gordon, greater than Earnhardt. If you think otherwise, you're a beta. Tommy, you are retarded. I mean, you're absolutely retarded with that take, okay? I have nothing against Jeff Gordon. He's one of the greatest of all time. He ain't better than Earnhardt, okay? You need to stop, all right? And you misspelled Earnhardt, okay? So learn how to spell Earnhardt's name properly before you talk about the GOAT, okay? Dark Schwartz Rice says, I miss driving a manual. Had to get rid of my 6-speed Focus RS. That thing went through tires like crazy and clutches. It is fun, man. It is fun. Let's see. Chevy Metal 69 Z28. My 69 Z28 302 DZ 4-speed with my first car, and I still have it. Bought a 2015 Z28 with an LS7 750 horsepower 6-speed. Automatics are gay. Love your car too. I told the story last time. Thank you, and appreciate the super chat. I told the story last time. I had a 97 Z28, and I pulled up next to a guy who had a 6-cylinder Camaro. So I had a 97 Z28 6-speed. It was black, and I pulled up next. This is when I'm like 20 years old. So, or I was like 22. I can't remember, but he had a 6-cylinder. He had his girlfriend with him. I smoked him big time. And then we get to the next red light and there was a fucking SS behind me. Now the SS, which was a year later, had an LS1 engine. I had the LT1 engine, and the LS1 at that time, and I might be wrong about this, I think it was producing maybe 30 to 40 more horsepower, just stock. And he probably had some mods on his too. So he was significantly faster than me. And I knew I was going to get smoked. And I did. There wasn't anything I could do about it. It wasn't a damn I was just a sitting duck. But that's life, you know. I get to embarrass one dude, and then this other dude with a faster car embarrasses me. Solo Felix says, Norm Macdonald on The View 25 years ago called out the Democrats and flat out said the Clintons were murderers. Was the only good View episode. R.I.P. Norm. Did he say that? If somebody can find that clip for me, I would like to see that. We do have another clip from James O'Keefe, this time centered around ESPN and Stephen A. Smith. That's right. So here we have audio that was obtained by O'Keefe Media Group talking about Stephen A. Smith putting on an act. So we're going to hear this really quick. It says ESPN leaks. OMG obtains audio of ESPN producer calling Stephen A. Smith an angry black man and says staff thinks he's crazy and has no idea about politics. So this is all about, Smith he's talking a lot of stuff about politics, Middle East. Leaked audio reveals an ESPN producer questioning his credibility on political topics. That does not surprise me at all. Here we go.
We have this one guy, his name is Stephen A. Smith. He plays the angry black man on TV. The angry black man stereotype is basically you're loud, you talk over people. What you say is not necessarily important. It's more how loud you are and how you deliver your speech. He does that pretty well. I think the higher ups at ESPN and Disney see that. He's like this angry black man. He goes on Fox News probably like once a week. And he'll talk about like Gaza. And he has no idea about Gaza.
This is what he does when he talks about sports, though. Listen, I've been watching Stephen A. Smith for a long time. Listen to when he talks about things that are not the NBA. So when he talks about football or when he talks about baseball, when he talks about college football, listen to how he talks. He mentions a couple of different names. And then what he'll do is he'll look up a couple of players' names on the team, and then he follows it with them boys. Like, you got so-and-so and so-and-so and them boys, and they're ready. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's a clown, but he's got charisma. He is well-spoken, and he is able to talk himself into conversations, even though he has no clue what he's talking about.
Talking about, like, his views on Gaza, and we're like, brother, you were just talking about the Lakers like 3 hours ago. Like, what do you know about Gaza? Stephen A. had been talking about LeBron's son for like a while. LeBron like confronted him at a game one time, and then ever since that, Stephen A's been on like 4 different podcasts, basically like, I thought it was a weak move, like coming up to me and whatnot. It's just this whole like embarrassing thing that we're all like rolling our eyes at. They just think he's crazy, just trying to create attention, which is his job, I guess. He gets paid a lot of money to do that. So. To like create chaos, to create like controversy, like an argument. That's like his job, basically.
So he's like an actor?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Very much whoever's buying my shit, I will sell you my book. Which is like Fox News sometimes.
Sources provided OMG with leaked audio tape of ESPN producer Ryan Bertrand discussing how ESPN staff perceives Stephen A's recent surge in political commentary. In the recording, he reportedly called an angry black man and suggested
we have this
that ESPN. Let me back that up. That ESPN staff thinks Smith is crazy and uninformed about politics. I'm telling you right now, I firmly believe that Stephen A. Smith is going to get into the political discussion for 2028 for the Democrats. I'm fucking telling you. And you guys can dismiss it all you want. Kamala Harris was the nominee. She is significantly dumber than Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is light years more intelligent than her. If Kamala Harris can be the Democratic nominee, literally anybody can. Do not dismiss Stephen A. Smith.
We have this one guy. His name is Stephen A. Smith. He goes on Fox News. Probably like Fox News. We have this one guy.
So now there's this one clip that I wanted to show you. Right here, and this is to Stephen A. Smith like got caught not knowing what he was talking about on ESPN. This is years ago. All right, I think this is the one.
And Spencer Ware and thinking that he can do some things. I'm keeping my eyes on this matchup right here. You got your linebacker. I'm sorry.
Listen now. He talks about people that are either not on this team anymore, or they're injured or something. So he just starts naming shit off. And then Teddy Bruschi's face, the guy in the middle, former NFL football player, former New England Patriot, former Super Bowl champion. Bruschi's like, what the hell?
And I'm going to have some faith in Spencer Ware and thinking that, he can do some things. I'm keeping my eyes on this matchup right here.
Spencer Ware's out.
I'm sorry?
Spencer Ware is out.
Oh, yes, I forgot. I'm sorry, Max. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
absolutely. He is out. But I'm thinking Tyreek Hill. I'm thinking Patrick Mahomes. I'm also looking at the San Diego Chargers on offense, and I'm thinking about Hunter Henry and the way that he's played this year and as effective as he's been. He's going up against Derek Johnson. And I got to keep my eyes on that because I'm looking at it from the standpoint. Listen, here's where I'm at with all of this. At the end of the day, I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes. I'm looking at Tyreek Hill.
And that is the exact moment I realized I am qualified to work at ESPN. Stephen A. Smith on this morning's First Take just butchers. He gets so many things wrong in less than a minute.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I forgot. I'm sorry, Max. I'm sorry. Yeah, absolutely. He is out. The San Diego Chargers on offense, and I'm thinking about Hunter Henry and the way that he's played this year. He's going up against Derek Johnson.
It's like he was looking at the matchup between the Chargers and Chiefs from 2017. I don't know what the hell happened. He tried to defend himself on Twitter. This clip's it's blowing up. Everybody's sharing it. But Hunter Henry has been on injured reserve all season long. Derek Johnson was signed by the Raiders and then cut by the Raiders. He's a free agent.
This is so freaking great, man. And this is what you're going to see from Stephen A. as he gets further into politics. My good buddy's here. Where did he go? My good buddy's here. Oh, there he is. The Fire Rises is back. He says, you lied to your audience, Jeremy. You are correct. I've been busted. Everyone, I have to admit that I did lie to you. I lied, and I'm really sorry. And I'm going to tell you what I lied about. I made a joke about the Fire Rises one time. I said the Fire Rises is angry because the Fire Rises has a small penis. Unfortunately, I was wrong. The Fire Rises has no penis. So I lied to all of you when I said that this person has a small penis. In fact, this person has no penis. So you busted. You got me. So there you go. Sorry about that. Want to correct the record, though. Let everybody know that happened. And something else just happened. Brock just dropped 50 gifted memberships. And because Brock dropped $250 worth of memberships, I'm going to play the new Sydney Sweeney clip for all of you. For Brock. And the only person that doesn't really want me to play this clip is the Fire Rises, because the Fire Rises has no penis. So it's not going to be affected by this clip, but everyone else will. So here you go from Brock.
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way. So tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information. I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way. So tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information. I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way. So tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information. I'm
sorry, I got distracted there. But thank you, Brock, for the 50 gifted memberships. Appreciate that. Back to Stephen A. Smith. So we have this clip of Stephen A. Smith playing the angry black guy. And I believe that to be true. I believe that Stephen A. is very smart, though. I don't think Stephen A. is a stupid person. And I think that Stephen A. is 100% going to find himself in the political landscape for 2028. I mean, dude, the people that are at the front of the Democratic Party right now are people like AOC, Jasmine Crockett, I don't know if this clip is real or not, but apparently AOC today said that the Democrats need to fart harder. Here we go.
We need a Democratic Party that fights harder for us to.
She actually did. Holy shit. She actually said it. She actually said it.
We need a Democratic Party that fights harder for.
Oh, no. One more time, AOC.
We need a Democratic Party that fights harder for us to.
Oh, that's fantastic. Chad Layton says, you lied to me. Here's a 20 spot. Well done. Thank you, Chad Layton. Appreciate that, brother. George Foreman. What happened to George Foreman? Let's see. Thank you so freaking much. Appreciate that, brother. Let's see. Let me see. George Foreman passes away at the age of 76, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Boxing legend George Foreman. I like how all the comments are vaxxed. Like he's 76, man. Good Lord, man. Every time somebody dies. GJJ for 20 says Stephen A. Smith would be a good puppet. Stephen A. Smith is 100% like it's right in line with what the Democrats are looking for. No doubt about that. No doubt about it. In my humble opinion, of course. In my humble opinion. But rest in peace to the legend, George Foreman, one of the greats. And I don't know if he was battling anything. I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about him in years. But yeah, that is sad. So let's see. Yeah, everybody's talking about it now. So it's everywhere. It's all over my feed now. Let me see. Oh, I got to show you guys this clip right here. Okay. So this was making the rounds yesterday. I actually meant to talk about this on Cobra Cast yesterday, and I just didn't get around to it. But this clip is the most Democratic thing I've ever, like in terms of the Democratic Party, I've never seen something represent the Democratic Party better than this. Now, as I've told you, in my opinion, one of the most dangerous people in all of politics, regardless of how bad of a job he's done, it's Gavin Newsom. He's one of the most dangerous people right now. And CNN even played a clip. And Charlie Kirk puts it out there. Charlie Kirk was on the show. Listen to this right here. Gavin Newsom will straight up lie to your face and not even think about it. He doesn't care, man. He is an evil piece of shit.
By the way, not one person ever in my office has ever used the word Latinx.
So can we finally put that to bed?
I hope you guys can hear this. The audio's a little low, but he says not one person in my office has ever used Latinx. I don't know anyone that has.
Yeah, but where did that even?
No more Latinx, everybody.
Well, I just didn't even know where it came from. I'm like, what are people talking about?
But there was a person who used Latinx. It was actually a really important person. It was him. Right?
Yeah, that's right. And look, these aren't minor shifts. These are progressive issues that Gavin Newsom used to champion until fairly recently. And now he's not just walking away from them. He's sort of acting like they were never legitimate with that clip talking about Latinx in the first place. But let's take Latinx. We did find somebody who used it repeatedly in his office. Let's take a listen to this.
I hope we can really paint a picture in terms of our consciousness of how impactful this has been on the Latinx community. The Latinx and Black communities. You've got politicians that are banning not assault rifles, but the word Latinx. They're not even serious. By the way,
this guy is the most slimy, pathetic piece of garbage. And people need to truly understand how dangerous he is. he will look you in your eye and stab you right in the face and not think twice about it. Absolutely horrible person. Now, I did see this earlier. Is it still a thing? Okay, so right now, okay. So, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth asks a question. Better name. Have my thoughts, welcome yours. Department of Defense or Department of War? And it's pretty close. Right now, it's 53.4 to 46.6. I choose Department of War. I think Department of War is better, but I think that there's going to be I think that he might have thought that this is going to be a bigger gap, but it's pretty damn close. But War is 100%. Somebody said it. War is more honest. Yes. Department of War and Defense. That's actually not a bad one, K-Hobo. Department of War and Defense actually is not a bad one. But in terms of those particular, I'd have to go with Department of War. So I'm wondering if he's considering changing this. It will be interesting to see how this all plays out. Let me see what this chat thinks, okay? Let's see. We'll put up a poll right here. Start a poll. Let's see. All right, I'm just going to put defense or war. So there you go. So which one is it? Snake Pit, you got to speak up. We got to know where you guys stand on this one, okay? All right, right now, War is winning 63%, but it's very close and it's very early. It's very early. We've got about 300 votes in, so we'll give it a few minutes and see what you guys think. While we're going over that, Sir Ruin of House Roundhead says, I want to see Trump make an NCAA tournament bracket. How do you think the Trump bracket would do? It'd be the best bracket. I don't think Trump keeps up with NCAA basketball that much. I personally don't either. So, but we are covering it over on our locals right now. So yeah, I mean, I know Ryan's over there, Beardo. I think Krista, you know what? Let me give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek on a locals members stream. Let's see what they're doing right now. Let's see who all's over there. This is what you would get if you were on the Geeks and Gamers locals right here. Look at that. You'd be hanging out with Fear the Beardo, Tommy Tron, RK Outpost, Krista Nova, My Nerdy Home, and X-Wing. So there's the crew right there. And of course, I can't play that very long because I don't know how long that copyright would last. So I got to get off of that. But because there's a lot of copyright stuff that we play over there. So there you go. The gang's all over there, over on the locals page. So needs more gaming. Hey, we're open to that. We are going to add more gaming to it. So let's see. Oh, also, I was told that I was going to ask you guys, please go to Twitter. I retweeted this, okay? But Krista we need 5,000 likes on this. I don't know if we're going to get there. Krista says, if this post gets 5,000 likes, my friend Drunk 3PO said he will dress up as Minecraft Steve, Jack Black, when he goes to see the movie. And then she says she'll dress up as Jason Momoa in Minecraft if this happens. We want to record this and everything. Jay threw the gauntlet down. Jay said 5,000 likes on Krista's post and he'll do it. So there you go. Link to the post. Okay. I'll give you a link right now. Here you go. Boom. There you go. There's the link right there. So let's see if we can get it and make that happen. Back to the poll here on this channel. 62% says Department of War versus 38% Department of Defense, but that's 600 votes in. We're going to give it to 1,000 votes before we call it. So there we go. But thank you guys. Grand Potato says 6 speeds are 6 speeds for his pleasure. Maddening says my 50th on Sunday. Have appreciated Cobra Cast addition to my evening this past year. Keep up the good fight, Jeremy. Thank you. I appreciate it. And happy 50th, sir. Mike Hill says, RIP George Foreman. Yes, indeed. Gold Standard says, dismantling the Department of Education is unconstitutional. I thought Trump was a fan of our Constitution. I don't know what you're getting at there, but I mean, the Department of Education situation, I haven't followed that one too closely, but ultimately that was a campaign promise. So, but I'd like to know more specifics about why you're upset about it. Because if you look at the spending involved in it and everything like that, like, I don't know what the hell you're even talking about. The spending has been out of control. There's so many good reasons to dismantle the Department of Education. And I don't know what the hell, you're probably just a TDS person, which is fine. At this point in time, like, are there valid criticisms of Trump? Yes. But sometimes I just it's almost hard to even take anyone's criticism of Trump seriously because there's so many people out there that cry about the most random things in the world and make these insane assumptions. They rewrite history or whatever. Andy Plays Game says, we Gen Xers have nostalgia for the steering column, gear selector cars. These millennials and Zoomers just don't know. Sad but true. Force Geek says, have you discussed the pyramid yet? Crazy stuff. I mean, I saw, we talked a little bit about it. I showed that picture, but I haven't looked too far into it at all. So, let's see. Tazi says, my last 2 cars are white. Does that make me a racist? No, the only thing that makes you a racist is not liking movies or video games that these weirdos want you to like, apparently. So JD says, I swang an Lexus RCF, not a stick, I know, but sport plus in paddle mode. I have taken a few 5.0 Stangs, 462 horsepower. That's some horses right there, brother. That's some horses. I don't hate on anybody that has an automatic. It's just guy talk. We're just talking shit, So, let's see. AOE2 Freak says, here late, but hail to the Snake Pit and Jeremy. Thank you so much. Maddening says, LFG. Tommy John says, Gordon greater than Stone Cold. He's the GOAT of performers. Okay, now you're just trolling at this point. Now you're just trolling, Tommy. And I respect it. Mike Zero Source says, I also get pissed at people driving slow in the left lane. My girlfriend is South Indian and calls them I don't even know how to say that. Banchoed. It translates to sister effer. I respect it. Listen, when I'm doing my driving videos, I'm going to have to be very careful because I say words that can only be said in the car alone. Because if I said them anywhere else, I'd get in a lot of trouble. Force Geek says, Smith doesn't want to talk b-ball anymore because it sucks. It definitely does suck. The NBA is terrible. And people like Stephen A. Smith have made that happen, by the way. Sir Ruin of House Roundhead says, Stephen A. has openly said he might run for president 2028. He said if he becomes the nominee, it's because the Democrats are in a terrible spot. They are in a terrible spot. Jeremy's Crush Show says, Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt. Respectful, but wrong. Respectful, but wrong. In terms of the greatest NASCAR drivers, it's Dale Earnhardt. If you want to talk about greatest pure driver, I mean, I can't go back that far because I didn't really witness Richard Petty, but in terms of my time, the greatest pure race car driver I have ever seen is Tony Stewart. Pure race car driver. Tony Stewart could get into anything and win. He won in IndyCar. He won in sprints, midgets, World of Outlaws, NASCAR. He won everything he got into. Tony Stewart's the greatest race car driver I've seen in my lifetime. Dark Red Knight says the only driver better than Dale Earnhardt is Richard Petty. Don't miss me with the Jimmy Johnson shit. Jimmy Johnson is a product of good equipment. That's it. I don't hate Jimmy Johnson. The Jimmy Johnson's overrated as fuck. AJ says 1-2 Earnhardt 4-5 100%. Tommy John says Jeff Gordon greater than Sydney Sweeney. He's so much sexier. Okay. you have to stop. Tommy John, you seriously have to stop. Like you need to stop, buddy. Okay. It's not even funny anymore. It's kind of scary. Packing Proton says apparently George Foreman is gone. Put something on the grill for the king of grills. King of grills, baby. Max K says Department of Offense. Ministry of Wrong Things says a lot of people don't know it was originally Department of War, but the name was changed to the public due to public perception. Department of War is more honest. Yes. And that's the whole thing about it. Change it back to Department of War because this politically correct bullshit climate that we're in has to end. It has to end in all phases of everything. Crazy Clown Town says, did you check your P.O. box yet? I didn't get a chance today. I'm going to go tomorrow. I just was Friday Night Ties today. I got really busy. Black Kane says, how about a Geeks and Gamers book club? Beardo can start with C-Spot Run, but that might push the limits of his reading ability. Mike Zero Source says, Bancho, you said it right. Thank you. Vault 95 says, Gen X will never know of horse carts. Losers. Longclaw says, Jeff Gordon greater than the Dark Knight Rises. What the fuck is happening? Maximus VT says, where my breed's at? Southeastern Kaiju says, Joy Reid, Harvard educated. She's so oppressed. Bobo Yogi says, long-time listener, first-time caller. You're the most handsome, articulate, entertaining, intelligent. Oh, wait. I forgot what stream I was watching. Thank you. Narrow Boating with Nigel says, hey, Jeremy, watching on my halls in the Maldives at a respectable time for a change. No access to streams for over a week's been happening. That's crazy, man. Well, I'm glad you're here, brother. And if you're still here, we still have more to talk about because we actually had an interesting day. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. Is it right here? Of course, I can't find it when I need it because everything's retarded. Give me a second. Right here. Okay. The lies surrounding President Trump and Elon Musk are out of control right now. The lies, and the New York Times specifically tried to create a fake news story about Elon Musk today, and President Trump and Pete Hegseth came back with a fiery response, a very fiery response. Let's check it out right here.
Now, notably, this New York Times story had more reporters than sources. There were 5 reporters. There were 2 officials confirming the details of that report, unnamed officials. President Trump denied the report at 11:20 p.m. What was interesting right now is you heard President Trump not just deny the report, but explain that Elon Musk would never be given access to war plans with China because he's a businessman. Why would he ever do that? He even went so far as to mention a conflict of interest. Elon Musk has business deals in China. Why would I give him this information? Though he did praise Elon Musk broadly in his portfolio. Big news out of this. We will let you in on all of it. This is Outnumbered. I'm Kaylee McEnany. Here's my co-host, Emily Campagno and Harris Faulkner. Also joining us, Lisa Booth, Fox News political analyst, Guy Benson, Fox News contributor, and host of The Guy Benson Show on Fox News Radio. Guy, you and I were speaking. The most interesting part of this to me, and you and I agreed on this, was you didn't have a reporter say to him, hey, Elon Musk has a conflict of interest here. He acknowledged it himself and explained how seriously he takes this information. Let's listen to that moment.
I certainly wouldn't want, Elon has businesses in China, and he would be susceptible perhaps to that. But it was such a fake story. The New York Times is just as fake as CNN and MSDNC. And anybody read that story, people laughed at that story. Who would do such a thing? And the first thing I did is I called Susie and I called Pete. I said, is there any truth to that? And they said, it's ridiculous. No, he's over there to talk about cost. You might want to address that, Pete. But Elon was over there today to address cost. Doge, thing called Doge, which you've heard about.
Guy, they had 5 reporters. They had 2 officials confirming the details for confirming more broadly that Elon would be at the Pentagon.
That was a fierce denial. That was a categorical denial of the story. And my ears perked up as yours did. He was not asked about a conflict of interest. He raised that himself unsolicited. He understood the reason why someone would object to this And he agreed with it. He said, that's why we're not doing it. So it wasn't just like, oh, fake news, move on. It was fake news for these reasons. We would never allow it specifically because of some of these concerns. And therefore the story is false. We would never even consider something like that. You worked in the press office. You know what a really strenuous denial looks like. That was it.
Yeah, and to get it so quickly at 11:20 p.m. last night, it's like I could see the balloon of the liberal media just pop in the air, just fizzle out as he gave that denial. You know, Harris, he also took on the judge. And I think the way he framed this is something a lot of Americans who just voted in an election in November will understand. Listen, this is about the judge and that plane with Trende Aragua alleged gang members on it.
If ISIS or Al-Qaeda foreign terrorists were operating here in the United States, cops would probably be shooting first and asking questions later. And so what is the difference between terrorists, between somebody like an ISIS or an Al-Qaeda operative versus a MS-13 or Trende Aragua?
Well, these are people that focus on destroying people in their homes. They're not as international in that sense. They're a group of thugs. They come from Venezuela. They come from the prisons of Venezuela. They're tough people. They're bad people. We don't want them in our country. We can't let a judge say that he wants them. You know, he didn't run for president. He didn't get much more than 80 million votes. And we just can't let that happen. It'd be so bad for our country.
Yeah, you know what was so interesting about that entire section to me, Kaylee, is that he won on that issue, and he said that today.
Yep.
He said, the American people expect me to be doing this sort of thing because that's what I promised, and that's what needs to be done to protect them. And that obviously is his first job as commander-in-chief. So he took the judge on the merits of the case. He didn't make it personal, which it could be, because it certainly feels personal from the other direction as he goes after and joins the litany of people going after the president from the left. It wasn't about that. This is what they hired me to do. And I'm going to do what the American public hired me to do with millions and millions and millions of votes. It's on display right now. And Andy Biggs, congressman from Arizona, also on the Judiciary House Committee there, explained to me today that the problem for this judge is that he actually doesn't have a position that gives him a lifetime job. He can be removed if he has bad behavior, if he steps out of line, if it looks like he's trying to thwart a sitting president or whatever it would be deemed to be. I thought that was really interesting.
And that's why I made this response yesterday. I talked about it a little bit, but Stephen A. Smith said on ESPN that he challenges, President Trump, VP Vance, and Pete Hegseth to explain to him this DEI stuff. You need to come talk to me and explain it. So I said, nobody has to defend anything, Stephen A. Smith. The American people voted for President Trump to end all DEI bullshit. This is what we wanted. The president is delivering. That also applies to everything else that he's doing right now. This is what we voted for, and this is what we wanted. And we're going to continue to get what we wanted because that is what elections are for. The poll is going to end at 58-42 for war. 57-43 right before I ended it. So there it is. So war wins 57-42. Coop for 10 says, if we are in a conflict and you hear America is sending the Department of Defense makes you feel safe. I hear Department of War from the biggest military. People are going to talk peace quickly. You're gay. Yeah, 100%. I'm 100% on board with messaging matters. Department of War matters. I'm all for it. Jay Jonas Campbell says, I can't believe I watched the entire movie like a sucker. Hey, man. Walking out of that movie was a really good decision, and doing a car video was an equally good decision. Samuel says, not sure if you saw the story, but it looks like Christian Craighead joined as Trump's private bodyguard. Such a cool life story. I haven't seen that one yet, but I will look into it indeed.
Interesting. Now, there are some reports that Boasberg may be getting a raise in terms of elevation of position. We'll watch for that today.
Yeah, 167 federal judges, one elected president of the United States, but these judges have an immense amount of power over what the president is doing.
They do have an insane amount of power, and I saw a clip the other day showing how many. It was on End Wokeness, I think. Let me just go to End Wokeness and look up their media stuff. showing how many of these judges have gotten involved in each administration. And it's absolutely insane when you actually look at the breakdown. If I can find it. Not there. Right here. Look at that. So federal injunctions, 12 for Obama, 64 in Trump's first term. Biden had 14. Trump has already had 15 in a month, 2 months, whatever we've had. That should tell you everything right there. That should tell you every single aspect of it. Unbelievable. So gay judges, yeah, I mean, definitely, for sure. So, but that speaks volumes right there. And this just kind of goes to show you, go back to Trump's first term. And so many people have said that, well, Donald Trump didn't do this and Donald Trump didn't do that. Because you're fucking retarded and you don't actually pay attention to anything. Donald Trump attempted to do an insane amount of things that he was blocked. He was blocked by judges. He was blocked by his own party. He was blocked by the Democrats. He attempted to do so much, and they put so many things in his way to stop him from doing things. But you have mindless, stupid fucking people that don't do any research and just think, well, Trump didn't get this done in his first term, so he didn't do what he promised. Shut the fuck up. Retarded people that don't do any research. They're driving me crazy. I'm so tired of stupid people that don't do any research, but then run their fucking mouth on the internet.
On a day-to-day basis. Lisa, he also addressed these Tesla attacks that we've seen that are widespread and remarkably consistent in the way that they're performed. Listen to what he said.
I view these people as terrorists just like others. When I looked at those showrooms burning and those cars, not one or two, like 7, 8, 10 burning, exploding all over the place.
Jamie in the chat says, calm down. Fuck off. I'm not calming down. You tell me to calm down, I'm going to calm up. Fuck you.
These are terrorists. Look at what's going on now with these terrorists. These are terrorists, and that's an organized event. Take a look at their signs. Take a look. They're all made by the same sign company. A nice, expensive job. Now, these are the people that finance it are, in my opinion, in just as big a trouble as the people that are setting the match and setting the fires. So we'll see. It's under very serious investigation by the FBI and by the Justice Department. These people are terrorists.
It seems
Now I got to back up and listen to what Trump said. Everybody's like, calm up. What the hell are you talking about?
Cars, not one or two, like 7, 8, 10 burning, exploding all over the place. These are terrorists. Look at what's going on now with these terrorists. These are terrorists, and that's an organized event. Take a look at their signs. Take a look. They're all made by the same sign company. A nice, expensive job. Now, these are the people that finance it are, in my opinion, in just as big a trouble as the people that are setting the match and setting the fires. So we'll see. It's under very serious investigation by the FBI and by the Justice Department. These people are terrorists.
It seems like he's indicating there.
I'm so happy that they're taking a serious approach to this. I don't know if it's calmed down or not. And maybe, I don't know, man. Living in the state of Florida, I feel like I live in a different galaxy than what you see with things like New York and California and all of that. Like, you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you try to fuck with somebody's vehicle in Florida or Texas. You absolutely are. It's not something that I think is going to happen here. I mean, I guess it could, but these people are going to mess with the wrong person and they're going to get their face blown off. That's what's going to happen.
Kash Patel Pambandi may be looking to see if there's any sort of organization around this.
Well, yeah, and they're also making an example out of 3 different individuals, which I think will help to send that message that we are treating this as domestic terrorism. I love these media availabilities and these press conferences. One, it's a little bit like a choose your own adventure novel. Do we talk about Ukraine? Do we talk about China? Do we talk about Doge? Which issue do we talk about? Because he's doing so much. This is an administration on steroids. You can tell the guy doesn't sleep. And so that's why it's so important for him to do these things, to do these availabilities, to take a beat like he did with the joint session to Congress as well and say, hey, look, this is what I'm doing for you. Here's how I'm delivering. This is why it's important. and to inform the American people. And this is the most transparent president, or at least one of them we've ever had. You look at his first month alone, he took over 1,000 questions from reporters. That's 7 times as much as Joe Biden did during that same period of time. So good for him for being so transparent with the American people and speaking directly to them. It also helps him circumvent the biased media as well.
You know, the motto of my press shop when I was there was offense only. And I'd like to think that that's a phrase that I adopted from the style of my boss. And my boss was President Trump, and he knows how to go on offense better than anyone. I want to play an example of that.
I'd like to remind, and as much as Kayleigh McEnany is very attractive, great personality, she also did turn on President Trump. She didn't turn on him to the level that a lot of people have, but she certainly backed. She was on the DeSantis bandwagon. She 100% was. And that just has to be noted. She was on the DeSantis bandwagon. There's a funny thing right here. This is what I have proof of what Florida will do to you. Okay. So you all know who Viva is. All right. This is Viva. This is Viva back when he was in Canada versus Viva now that he is in Florida. Florida, it's a hell of a drug. So that's what Florida does to you right there. I'm sure Viva's rocking Crocs and everything now. So there you go. It's fantastic. This is what Florida does to you. But it's a good thing. Like you typically wear shorts everywhere. You wear shorts. I wear like light, long sleeved clothes like this, shorts and Crocs everywhere. That's what you got to do, man. It's Florida, baby. That's what it's all about. Forest through the trees for 50. Says, hey, Jeremy, I mentioned to Jay a few weeks ago that there's a large air show in Lakeland, Florida called Sun and Fun coming up on April 1st to the 6th. I emailed him the details, thought it might be a good idea for park hopping. The night drone is awesome. Interested? April 1st to the 6th is going to be a very, very tough time for us to do that because we have some other things going on. I mean, the Switch reveal is the 2nd, but then I know that we have another thing scheduled for the following day that we're doing in Orlando. So I guess it would just depend on how the 5th and the 6th goes. So those dates are probably not going to work for us, but I'm glad that you gave us a heads up on it. So I'll certainly look into it though, but I don't know if we're going to have any resources to do anything like that. But yeah, I would absolutely love to look into it because that would be something typically we would like to do. We would like to cover 100%. So just shoot me a DM about it on Twitter. Samuel says, for 99, says Christian is fondly known as Obi-Wan Nairobi for taking on terrorists while off duty in Nairobi, Kenya, and saving a bunch of people. Certified badass. Hell yeah. And he joined Trump's private security team. That's awesome, man. That's what's up.
Reporter asked him, do you have the authority to deport? And watch how he turns this around about Joe Biden's authority to let in 8 million illegal immigrants.
Yeah, this is perfect right here. This is fantastic. This is a great answer. Let me back this up with Kayleigh because she sets it up perfectly. So right here, listen to this.
You know, the motto of my press shop when I was there was offense only. And I'd like to think that that's a phrase that I adopted from the style of my boss. And my boss was President Trump, and he knows how to go on offense better than anyone. I want to play an example of that. A reporter asked him, do you have the authority to deport? And watch how he turns this around about Joe Biden's authority to let in 8 million illegal immigrants.
Mr. President, do you think you have the authority, the power to round up people, deport them, and then you're under no obligation to a court to show the evidence against them?
Well, that's what the law says, and that's what our country needs, because unfortunately, they allowed millions of people to come into our country, totally unvetted, totally unchecked. So you ought to ask, did he have the authority to allow millions of people? Did Biden have the authority to do something that's unthinkable? Have open borders where millions of people poured into our country, totally unvetted and totally unchecked, just as you would say.
Yeah. Did this dumb bitch ask Biden if he had the authority to allow them into the country? Did this dumb bitch ask that question? No, but she wants to sit up there and ask the president of the United States of America, who was voted in with no questions asked, with a mandate from the American people. You want to sit there and ask a stupid fucking question like that? dumb bitch.
And many of those people were criminals. Many of them were from jails and prisons and mental institutions and gang members and drug dealers and very dangerous people. Many were murderers. When you ask me if we have the authority, did Biden have the authority to allow millions of people to come into our country? Many of these people, hardened criminals at the top of the line who have caused tremendous damage in our country.
I don't know what happened there. Oh,
It would
okay.
seem Biden's authority would be in contravention of the Immigration and Nationality Act, but who cares about details? Emily, this all began, and you were very passionate about this, with a new fighter jet and the F-47. You wanted to expound upon it.
Yeah, I'm so excited by this. And keep in mind that just 3 days ago, China reportedly took a second test flight of their 6th generation fighter jet. Now, allegedly, that's called the J-36. They've been operating a 5th generation so far. It's the G-20, if I remember correctly. That's radar evading. And these photos of this new 6th generation fighter jet on their part, it sort of looks like a mix between the B-2 bomber and the F-117A, which is our stealth fighter. So basically like a black triangle, like a bat. And so that's something that when you couple with the Secretary of Defense's remarks today, where he said, look, under the prior administration, this program was paused, was potentially going to be canceled. And now we are reminding the world that our air power is superior, and we are investing in a maintenance of that superiority. And that with that air power, the president talked about how the availability of this new the F-47 on our part, obviously a lot of it's classified, but he said greater payload, greater maneuverability, greater stealth, greater speeds. It's going to hold a bunch of drones. Tip of the iceberg, and especially that photo was quite exciting. But I just note that as we come off of the prior administration, remember the spy balloons that floated across our country. Remember how we experienced sort of an alarming uptick and surge of physical violations by the Chinese in terms of our military institutions and installations, not to mention the intellectual property theft that also had to do with air technology. So I, as an American and as a lover of the Air Force and fighter jets, I'm just so heartened by the F-47, and I can't wait to see it unveiled. And final quick point, just last November, China unveiled their answer to our F-22 and the F-35. So they're right on our heels. And this is an example. This is an arena where the president and the Secretary of Defense's commitment to lethality and superiority on our part is really going to shine through.
Yeah, exciting days for the U.S. military. All right. Well, House Republicans launching an
Suddenly, you guys were very entertained there for some reason. So interesting. But look at here, real quick. We're going to continue on this here in just a minute. But there's always a Trump connection. Always. It is. How does he do it? I don't know. How does he do it? Look at there. George Foreman with businessman Donald Trump in 1991. RIP. There's always a Trump connection every single time. Absolutely awesome. So RIP to George Foreman. Every time. Always a Trump connection. We got Maxim PT says, what? I don't even know what you're saying. Chupami Varga. Gary and Guitar, new member. Thank you. Dr. Manzor says, LOL, I thought for a second the Soul Calibur 2 was playing in the Oval Office. That's the GameCube Soul Calibur with Link. Teresa Young says, I'm an old school boomer. Mario Andretti was the best car overall. Mustang GT. I miss mine. Repoed lost my job. Oh, sorry to hear that. Was silvery gray. Hail the 199. Mario Andretti was definitely one of the greats. No doubt about that. Thank you, Teresa. Mike Zero Source says, I must apologize. I'm a terrible racist. I'm a white dude supporting Trump dating an Indian girl. I'm doing this wrong. Shadow Sands says, Jeremy, what's the punishment for keying your car? Well, I guess that question would have to apply to like now. It wouldn't be good. Back in the day, in my dating days, a couple of girls that keyed my car for a couple different reasons, but no need to dig up ancient history. But yeah, if some Tesla loser, or one of these Elon losers tries to key my car, it won't be good. And so Dark Schwartz Rising says F-47 definitely not a coincidence on the same name or on the name. Also with Boeing won the contract. Let's hope the canopy doesn't pop open mid-flight. That is true. That is true. Chevy Metal says in 1985, I was 11 years old with a commercial with Bill Elliott. Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. It was our local Ford dealership. I miss the old days of NASCAR when you could actually tell the cars apart. Don't get me started on that one, man. Like, I still watch old NASCAR races all the time on YouTube. I just can't get into current NASCAR. I can't. I remember back in the day when you would see a McDonald's car and it was Bill Elliott, or Interstate Batteries and it was Bobby Labonte, or a Goodrich Service and it was Earnhardt, or a DuPont and it was, Jeff Gordon, Valvoline for Mark Martin, Home Depot Tony Stewart, Ford Quality Care with Dale Jarrett, Miller Lite with Rusty Wallace, Dale Jr. Budweiser. Like, you can't tell any of this stuff anymore. None of it. There's no identifiable anything with NASCAR anymore. It's heartbreaking. It's horrible. I hated it. Kellogg's with Terry Labonte. That's right. Tide. That's right. Was Ricky Rudd? Ricky Rudd had the Tide car back in the day. John freaking Murdoch says, apparently YouTube doesn't want me to smack talk about China. They talk big, but that is all they are good at. This is true. Why don't they want you to say anything? YouTube is really, really weird about the censoring of chats. It really is. And I get accused of like silencing people all the time. So yeah, these people, I don't know what's going on with the YouTube bots. So 8 o'clock says Trump should let these judges and reporters take a ride with some of these illegal immigrants, and then they can ask those dumb questions. That would be nice. Darth Gabble says aircraft carrier USS Donald J. Trump full of F-47s win. That would be badass. Packing Proton says a bit behind. Stephen A. Smith reminds me of a phony TV preacher like Osteen. Also, Valiant's looking up the Blue Oyster Bar. All right, let's let Kaylee McEnany continue.
Investigation into rising swatting attacks on conservatives. Now,
I
swatting
didn't know
is
they were
when
talking
someone
about this.
tries to send armed police to another person's house under false pretenses. The act can put the lives of the victims and the responding officers in danger, as it did in the case of talk radio host Joe Pagliaro, who was recently woken up in the middle of the night by more than half a dozen armed officers.
But this guy, wherever he happened to be, was trying to get police to break down the door and possibly either kill me or scare us enough to where I would shut my mouth and not do what I do on the radio every day. It was one of those, I'm sure you've had this, where your heart flops out of your chest. I've never had it that hard before, but thankfully, the police were there. They understood the situation. They got that it was a swatting, and we're all safe. I think that it's A, either get me dead, B, have me kill a cop as I'm doing it, C, have the cop be the one who kills me. Now, we're all bad guys. And then D, people like you shut up and stop talking about what you talk about.
I really hope that somebody, like, I really hope someone explains the situation correctly, and I'm sure they already are. There's a lot of people that have direct contact to the Trump administration, but swatting is truly it's something that should have some extremely severe punishment for anyone caught doing it. And I mean extreme punishment. It is attempted murder is what it is. It is absolutely what it is. There should be no, dancing around that. It is attempted murder, point blank. That's what it is.
They didn't accomplish what they wanted to, but I hope there will be accountability.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem vows to hunt the cowards behind those calls. Quote, under President Trump's leadership, we will not sit idly by.
Hell yeah.
As conservative news media and their families are being targeted by false swatting. DHS has the ability to trace phone numbers and track location information, and we will use it to hunt these cowards down. This is an attack, she says, on our law enforcement and innocent families, and we will prosecute it as such. Guy, a frightening turn of events that hopefully does not begin a pattern.
Using this as a weapon is extremely dangerous, and it's evil, and it should be charged basically at the level of a home invasion, I think, right? I believe that when someone falsely accuses someone else of, let's say, sexual assault, if that is proven to be a hoax and false, there should be charges commensurate
yes.
to what the lie initially was.
Yes.
And in this case,
Yes.
you're putting a lot of people's lives in danger. You are sending...
I agree completely with everything he just said.
Armed police, heavily armed police to the house, believing falsely because of the lie that there's some sort of life-threatening moment or incident unfolding in that house or at that property. So they are armed to the teeth, understandably, and the people sitting at home are completely unaware of any of this. They're just innocently trying to go about their lives, even sleeping in bed at night, and to have a door knocked down or pounding it is a terrifying thing. And those who are responsible for swatting others should face extremely serious consequences, because this type of thing will get people killed.
Yeah, Lisa, there's a parallel, in my opinion, between this scenario and the vandalism at the Tesla dealerships and with cars. Point being, while the defenders of such say, oh, it's innocuous, it's no big deal, the propensity for massive loss of life, the frightening volatility of these scenarios is what makes it so explosive and so terrifying. They need to be condemned and prosecuted immediately.
Well, and how do you think the left would react if that happened? I mean, sadly, I think there'd be a lot of people cheering. I mean, we saw that on the Daily Show recently as people were applauding what's happening with the Teslas and the fire bombings as well. I mean, look, the whole intention of they want to get someone killed.
Yes.
That's why you SWAT. The hope is that the police officer accidentally kills the individual who's being targeted.
Well, there is that. And there's also just, it's like anything else. Like years ago, the worst thing you can do to a person, and I mean worst in just like in certain, is like, obviously if you take things to extreme, there's horrible things you can do to people, but it just in general, like one of the worst feelings to have is to just feel like violated or uncomfortable. So like years ago, I had my wallet stolen. Someone broke into my vehicle. My wallet was there. And they broke in, they busted out the windows in my truck and they stole my wallet. And I was in the store. Like I walked in the store. It was a store I worked in. So I was just like, my truck was there. I had just walked away from my truck and I watched this person pull up to my truck, bust the window out, and he stole my wallet. I had a ton of cash in there too. Whatever though, that money's money. And the fact is what the bigger problem was that he had all of my ID. So he had my ID that showed where I lived. He had credit cards. He had all of that. You want to talk about not sleeping comfortably for weeks because of that? That's the worst thing somebody can do to you, is to make you feel uncomfortable in your own home. That's the worst thing. And so this makes people feel uncomfortable in their own home. That's the idea behind it. Now, obviously, a lot of them are looking to do something even worse and have something even worse. But it's definitely about just making you feel uncomfortable. And they're doing a good job of that for a lot of people.
They want...
I mean, personally... I'll just say if I've ever been swatted, you're not going to know about it. I'm not going to publicize it. I don't think publicizing swattings is helpful. I think that it only confirms to the people that are trying to swat you that they got what they wanted. So I see a lot of people that, like, I remember when Tim kept getting swatted and Tim just kept making it like content. Like he just wouldn't shut the fuck up that he's getting swatted. I personally don't think it's a good idea to tell the internet when they've actually succeeded in what they've tried to do. And I see a lot of people like, oh, look, I got swatted. Oh, I got swatted. I got swatted. I got swatted. Like, that's what they wanted. You know? Don't tell people they were successful.
Somebody be killed. We've
just handle it. Handle it with your local authorities. And then if you have connections to run that up the chain to, Washington and the administration, then do that. But just handle it with the local authorities and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what's going on. This is what happened. This might happen again. Yada, yada, yada. You don't have to plaster everything on the fucking internet.
We've seen people get killed in the past. One gentleman comes to mind, Andrew Finch. I think Congress should make this a distinct federal crime. I believe it can be considered under interstate threats, but to make it a distinct federal crime, because the whole purpose is to get someone killed. And if this continues, that will likely happen.
Yeah, and by using the phones that can be also in the
Exactly. Yeah,
interstate.
well,
Exactly.
you're more equipped to answer that one. I'll kick that over to you.
And Kaylee, as the radio host was talking about it, Mr. Joe, he outlined exactly what I could have been killed. They could have been killed. The danger is so profound and frightening.
It's very scary. Someone could definitely get killed. This is a new method, but this method or practice of intimidation and harassment is old. I follow a lot of these conservative influencers. I've been seeing them say, my house is swatted. One said it was swatted for the 4th time. These influencers are very powerful. They are very effective. They have huge followings. Many of them are probably a reason lots of young people flock to the president. So people know that. And they target people who are effective in the Trump orbit. They did this to me. My old house in Florida was not swatted, but when they were burning down buildings in the Tampa area and a gas station, they posted the address of my house, picture of my house, and my house was next. I had police show up at my door. I had a new baby, and they said, they're threatening to burn down your house. We need to protect you. They called both of my high schools, the boys' school, the girls' school. They called my dad's business. They called my uncle's business. They called my sister's track coach. They called my mother, said that I was the C word, and said that I hope I get cancer. These are the things people sign up for when they sign up to be an effective voice in the Trump orbit, either in government or as a conservative influencer who I would argue has outsized influence more so than many actual government officials. Stay strong, guys. You're doing a great job. You're effective. And the fact that you're being targeted is an example of why you're so effective.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you had to go through all. That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. People need to know. Yeah.
So much. I'm glad you shared that. I do see a similarity with what's going on with Elon Musk and the Teslas. And I said this yesterday and took a lot of heat for saying it, but I totally believe it, especially after what you just said, how these should be separate federal crimes. They're not vandals. They're domestic terrorists.
Yes.
They're blowing up dealerships. There
Yes.
might be a night guard on that. They like to do these things after hours so you see the flames better, I would guess. This is about ideology. And if you look at it, and Congressman Biggs told me this last hour, if you look at it, it is the definition of domestic terrorism.
Yes.
And so what does that mean? If someone gets hurt in the process?
You have to my advice is to just simply put, if you are I hate the word influencer. I really fucking hate it. Influencer is like the gayest word to call, this social media movement influencer. It's so gay, because we don't influence anything. The people allow us to have a voice. The people that support us allow us to have a voice. If anything, the people that support us influence us more than anything. I hate the word influencer. I prefer to be called retards in our homes and basements. That would be the better way to describe conservative influencers, is just call us retards. That's the way to do it. And so it's just influencer is a super gay way to say it. It makes you sound like you think higher of yourself than you really are. So we're retards or IDOTs. That's the better way to do it. But ultimately, if you are a retard like me, and there's a lot of them out there that are far more successful than me, my number one priority in my life is my family's safety, and to keep them off the internet, and keep all of that, keep my personal life away from the internet. I want my family to be safe. I go out of my way to do that and to make sure that that's all taken care of, so that even if there is an issue, we will be fine. Generally speaking, obviously nothing's 100%, but I take that very seriously. And it's the same thing when we do our meetups with, Geeks and Gamers and all of that. I spend a lot of money to not only protect the team, but also to protect the people that are coming to these events. It's my responsibility as the person that's putting it together to make sure that we have people there, undercover people that are watching, people that are trained and ready to take somebody down and out if they are there to disrupt in any way, shape, or form. You will not be successful if you come to one of our meetups that I'm involved in. You will not be successful. You will be taken out pretty fucking quickly if you come there to try anything. And that's just what I feel responsible for. Obviously, I'm responsible for my family and shit like that. And I think everybody that has a following and is making a living online, you have that same responsibility. Take care of your family, take care of the people that are close to you. So
process of this, that ratchets up that crime even further. We can't tolerate this. Like this is not okay. There is now, and you can look this up today, our Seattle affiliate.
Midnight Light says, I was bullied by some chick working for Geeks and Gamers at MegaCon meetup in the bar for no reason. If you were bullied by a chick, you got a lot more problems in life, especially a chick that works at G&G. Did 5'1" Krista Nova intimidate you? Really? Krista from Canada? It's like very like her intimidating presence? Or was it 5 foot flat Stephanie? Man, you know what I mean? So funny as hell, but yeah, sorry that happened to you. So bullied by Jay. Philip Chance as a girl, probably Beardo. Oh man, good stuff.
Fox 13 has video of a woman whose Tesla she was driving. It got spun off the road. A guy ran her off the road, got out. He had on full fatigues. You couldn't see anything except for his eyes. And he threatened her. He said, you got to get rid of this car now. And he went on. Well, of course, the cameras are rolling from all over the Tesla. So we see this whole thing play out. I mean, when I tell you that this is terrorism, she said, thank God she didn't have anybody young with her. What if she'd had children with her? I mean, I had then another Al Motor, a Democrat on my last hour on the Faulkner Focus, who said, he fears for his life. He wanted to buy a Tesla, but out of fear, he wouldn't. A Democrat. This is terrorizing us as citizens, and it's got to stop.
Although they're making me want to buy a Tesla. I've
That's
never wanted
me.
to buy one. Now
You and Dean
right?
Cain.
I want to buy one out of spite. Just to
Dean
be like,
Cain too.
Yeah.
Superman.
to get to him. Yeah.
Dean Cain
Hey
did buy
everyone,
one.
I'm Emily Campagno.
Yeah, Dean Cain actually bought a Tesla, and I think it's because of all of this craziness going on. And he's like, "No, I'm not going to put up with it. Like, I'm gonna." He's like, "I'm getting a Tesla," and I think he got one delivered. So, let's see where we're at here. Emo Otaku says, Ivy from Soul Calibur 2 has a great personality. Indeed. Dougie B says, Petty Blue Super Chat, old school 43 baby, Richard Petty. That's what's up. What's up, Doug? OC Diddy 93. Didi, not Diddy. DD, not Diddy. I like how he had to clarify that in his name. Jeremy, never say that comment again. He was telling you to suck his D. Sometimes I typically do not read words that I don't know the meaning of because I feel like I'm getting trolled. So I probably got trolled again. Mitchell Fields says, can I get a fast poll? I keep going back and forth on this. Who has more hair? Rachel Zegler's back or Jeremy's eyebrows? Rachel Zegler's back, easily. Ministry for All Things says, we learned from what happened with Ethan Klein recently that the left will make false calls to CPS to take your kids and put you through heavy investigations. I personally don't even know what is going on with Ethan Klein. I know he's at odds with, you know what? As a matter of fact, that makes me think of something, though. Ethan Klein. How do you spell his name? Ethan Klein, and I remember this comment if I can find it, because didn't Jordan B. Peterson predict this? Yep. This is what I thought. So, okay. So Ethan Klein from H3H3, he's been in the YouTube game for a long time. And Ethan has kind of been all over the place. I'm not a fan of Ethan Klein at all. But he was linked up with Hassan Piker, and they did this show. I can't remember what the name of the show was. I guess him and Hassan have been in a fight for years because Ethan Klein was kind of down the middle for a long time. And then he did an interview, I guess, with he had Jordan P. Peterson on his channel. This was years ago. And then when Ethan started going down this path of like leftists, Jordan B. Peterson called him out. I remember it right here. I pulled up the tweet. So what are you up to, Ethan? We had a good conversation. I enjoyed meeting you and talking with you. What have I said precisely that motivated your actions and accusations? Deleting our discussion, an honest question. And the last part is the best part right here. He said, you will be held to a higher and higher and soon impossible to maintain ethical standards by the very mob that you currently wish to please. Then you will make a mistake and they will devour you with glee. Please take this warning seriously. I liked you. That is 1000% accurate. That was in 2022, January. And he called it. Now, I have my own issues with Jordan B. Peterson on so many different issues. He is a smart guy, but that right there is 100% spot on. He called it back in 2022, and if Ethan Klein would have listened to Jordan B. Peterson when it comes to that specific stuff, he may not have found himself in the disastrous situation he's in. So whatever's going on with him now, if he just would have listened to Jordan B. Peterson all that time ago, he wouldn't be in the situation. This is what happens when you get involved with these leftist lunatics, man. They will completely destroy you and your entire life. They have no sympathy. They have no line that they won't cross. They will go after anyone that they need to go after in order to get to you. It's who they are. Saren says, have you heard about the Black Flag Group threat to hospitals? Supposedly a large-scale multi-city attack is coming. Not much on the news about it. I have not heard anything about that. I have not. Sounds crazy, though. Doc Hollywood for 50 says IDOTs for the win. 5th of November, 2025. LFG. Thank you, Doc Hollywood, and hail to the IDOTs. Don't forget, if you have not, go to metapcs.com, ladies and gentlemen. Promo code 199. You can go get yourself a Meta PC. It's in the pinned link below, or the pinned comment in the comment section. Make sure you go over there, check them out. You can get yourself a brand new PC, custom build, laptop, pre-build, whatever you're looking for. Use the promo code 199. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Doc Hollywood. I appreciate it. Hail to the IDOTs. Dark Schwartz Rising says, I just love how these morons don't know Teslas have cameras all over. I know. How stupid are they? People are insane, dude. Zan Zoltan says, Trump in 2016, pick happy boy, ready to work. Trump in 2025, vengeance is the only way. Hail the 199. Absolutely. Abigor says, let's talk business. Did you pre-order the new classified snake armor and more? Also, don't forget about the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Cold Slither box set. I have not. I will, but I have not. But I appreciate the question. I'm glad for the reminder, too. I need to look into it. There's just so many things I'm following. It's hard to keep up with all of it. Sith Lord Darth Bong says, everyone knows Ricky Bobby is the best race car driver. Anything else is a lie. If you ain't first, you're last. Shake and bake. Good old Talladega Nights. Theo says, Jeremy was a big Dick Trickle fan back in the old school NASCAR days. Alex Kane says, I collect 99 to 2000 NASCAR because it's a hell of a high. Dale Earnhardt, Tony Stewart, Rusty Wallace, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jeff Gordon, the GOATs. Man, it's the glory. That's the glory time right there, man. It was just like, you're just not going to get better than that era. You're just not. I miss it so much. Drew Barr says, you're my favorite Trump influencer, even if you're gay. Aurora Uplink says, this feels like a dark period of American history that will be looked back on similar to how union busters were attacking citizens for greed politics. Mola Ram with 5 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Shorty Short says, I'm 5 foot. We should start a 5 foot flat club. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of short chicks in the 199. That's for sure. Except for X-Ray Girl. She's like 5 million feet old. Billy and Sherman says Jeremy doesn't check the Rumble chat. I've had the Rumble chat open the whole time. We've maintained about 200 to 250 people. I've seen you guys very active. Lord of the Ree sent a super chat and says it was originally called the Department of War. They changed it in like the 1950s. True Mr. Gentleman says, Jeremy, back in my day, we used to call people a bundle of sticks on COD all the time. Also, Jeremy, I don't understand why there are too many gay jokes in the Geeks and Gamers chat now. Hail the 199. See there? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you missed a bit. Yeah, you missed a bot. Well, I mean, I didn't keep. Eric K usually keeps up the chat over there, so but that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, I'm looking at the chat now. I see all of you talking right now. Let's see. Robert Damson says, have you seen the video of the loon in New York City subway going after the MAGA hat wearer? Things are changing. So I did see that. I didn't know if that was legit or not. Let me pull this up right now. I saw memes about it and everything. So I didn't know if it was a skit or what. So let's watch this. Is this it? Yeah, okay. So I didn't know if this was a skit or what. So is this legit? Let's see. You never can tell. 1992 space movie with 10 gifted memberships. Let's freaking go. Okay, so here's this apparently. Again, when I first saw it, I thought it was maybe a skit or whatever. I didn't know, but here we go.
That's why he won. Because people like you. That's why he won. That is why he won. Because of people like you who need to stop it. Let him live. Bro, just like, go. Chill, bro.
Okay, now, to be clear, I didn't see this part. I only saw the part where they were running. So I guess this is the full clip. I only saw the part where she like runs after the guy trying to grab his hat or something like that. That's what I thought the skit was. This I haven't seen. So let's back this up now. So she's apparently arguing with a guy that has a MAGA hat on, and someone in the subway is saying, people like you are why Trump won. Well, he's right.
That's why he won. Because of people like you. That's why he won. That is why he won. Because of people like you who need to stop it. Let him live. Bro, just like, go. Chill, bro. You're okay with that. He's a racist. How can I be racist, bro?
If you fucking voted for Trump, you're racist. He's a racist.
How can I be racist? No, he's not. Leave him alone.
Doesn't watch the news.
You realize he was a Democrat.
Highly educated. Oh, are you? I guess why are you wearing that hat?
Only I don't know how long the Democrats have been running New York since. Who knows how long? But then Trump comes in and just fixes it. Well, this is my style. I hope you enjoy the hat. Oh, she took a tackle. She just. Oh, shit. That's why.
Okay, now it makes so much more sense. Oh my God, that was so fucking satisfying. Now I got it. We're slow-moing that shit, bro. We're slowing that one down. Let's go to half speed. Oh man. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Yeah. That is so. That is so satisfying. Oh man, we're slowing that one down a little bit more here. All right, here we go. Yes. Fucking face palm. You fucking deserve every bit of it, you ugly freaking whore. All right, here we go. Boo! Okay, I had no idea that that happened the way it played out. That is amazing. One more time. Ooh. So the reason I thought it was a joke is because I saw like pictures of like him and her, and he smiled like that. That looked like a skit. You know what I mean? And so that's why I was like, oh, is this just a skit? Is somebody doing something funny in New York? But the full context makes it like, okay, so that's pretty fantastic right there. Because there ain't no way she would have face planted if that was part of a skit. But that's good stuff right there. So, let's see. So yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So it's Rob Adamson. I don't know why I said Robo Damson. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? So Rob Adamson. What's wrong with me? Although it would help if you'd capitalize your, the first letter of your name and the first letter of your last name. That'd help me out a little bit because I am retarded. So 8 o'clock says it must have been Madam Savvy and her claws that bullied that guy. Potentially. Black Solid Snake Moan says, let's see, Otacon be telling me we thinking the same. No need putting the controller in port 2. You dig? 199. Dark Schwartz rises. I love the other people on the train who are like another day on the effing subway. Yep. Doug B says you should watch Benny's opening clip with that woman falling. I'll have to see if I can find that. Yeah, I totally thought it was like an Alex Stein like joke or something. I had no idea. Joe Sullivan says Cole Trickle. If you know, you know. Lying Dogface Pony Soldier says the new damn. Grand Potato says that should be the new damn clip. That was freaking great. I had a lot that I got a lot of satisfaction out of watching that. So hell yeah, that was great. All right, let's see where we're at. Got that. I've got to make more content for Geeks and Gamers, so I'm going to be doing that. What is this right here? George Foreman stuff. There was another clip that we have to talk about before we wrap this up, if I could find it. Right here. Okay, now I haven't heard this clip yet, but I just saw this hit my news feed right here. Let's back this up. Bill Maher guest accidentally makes the case that Democrats are brainwashed by the media. If you follow the news, you voted for the Democrats by and large. If you don't follow the news, you voted for Trump. I got to hear this.
Is Donald Trump wins people who don't like to think about politics, right? That's very, very clear in all the polling. If you follow the news, you voted for the Democrats by and large. If you don't follow the news, you voted for him. And I'm
Yes. If you follow the news, if that's your only source of information, you voted for Democrats. If you don't follow the news, you voted for Trump. Thank you for making the point. Holy crap. How stupid are you?
Is Donald Trump wins people who don't like to think about politics.
That's not
right.
true.
That's very, very clear in all the polling. If you follow the news, you voted for the Democrats by and large. If you don't follow the news, you voted for him. And I'm not saying that that means that people who voted for him are less smart or anything like that. But the problem the Democrats have, the problem that Andrew's...
I would say the people that didn't vote for Trump are less smart. Yes, if you didn't vote for Trump, you're an idiot. You are stupid in the year 2024. If you made an active decision to not vote for Trump and vote for Kamala Harris, you are a stupid person. There's no way to sugarcoat that. If you voted for Kamala Harris, you are a stupid person. Doesn't mean we can't be friends. It doesn't mean that you're like, you know, that I'm better than you. It means that you're a stupid person, though. You might be better than me because I'm retarded too, but you are a stupid person if you voted for Kamala Harris.
Argument has, that my argument has, that your argument has, is how do you reach people? It's not even really, I think, that the problem is people hear that the Venezuelan gang members are being deported and who, you know, what is the judge's power over this? They don't hear about it at all, oftentimes, right? I mean, this stuff is all in the news, and if you're tuned it out, it's very hard to get to you. And so the thing that I think they understand, I mean, you've had Steve Bannon on the show, right?
I think we have him coming up. So
yes, we've had him, and we're going to have him again, and
his
then
whole-
he's going to have us.
his whole thing is you flood the zone. His whole thing.
What did he say?
Have him coming up.
So
yes, we've had him, and we're going to have him again, and
his
then
whole-
he's going to have us.
His whole thing is you flood the zone.
Why was that funny?
His whole thing is you flood the zone with bullshit because the pipe of information for most people is pretty narrow. And even they hear about one thing, they don't hear about the other 8, they don't hear about the other 10. You overwhelm the media, you overwhelm people, and also you recognize that most people don't want to think about it, right? And so you can get a lot done under the cover of chaos. And it's a very genuine problem. It's not a crazy strategy they're running.
Well, this clown, like, you know, you could tell what type of propaganda he's all about. So Savvy Bane 199 says, hail chat. Yusuke, Jay's version of it, DM'd you the meme on Twitter. I'll check it out, see if I can find it. And I think that is going to bring us to the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. So another Cobra Cast in the books. They are still live over on Locals. I think if you want to go join them, let me see if they're still live on Locals. Let's see. Yes. So the crew is still live on Locals. If you want to go hang out with them for March Madness, they are, you got to become a support. Yeah, it's a supporters only stream. So if you want to go over there, check them out. Looks like Krista's there still, Steph, Beardo, Ryan, Tommy, and X-Wing. So there you go right there. So go support them. Mods will drop a link to that. And we're going to be doing a lot of that. We're covering wrestling. We're covering sports. We're covering movies. We're doing movie watch parties. We're actually going to do some gaming streams. I'm trying to get enough people together to play a Warzone lobby. But we need like minimum of 50 people that would be playing in the lobby in order to start the lobby. So that's going to be, you know, a tough one, but I think we can pull it off. I think we can. But thank you guys so very much. Greatly appreciate it. I hope you all have a good night. Let me click off of that really quick. Again, don't forget metapcs.com. If you're in the market for a new computer, please go over there and check them out and see if they have anything that you're interested in. I hope you all have a good weekend. More car videos are on the way as well. I heard you loud and clear on the car video. So that will be happening. A lot more car videos, and I'm looking forward to it. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.
It's my time to rule at last. 15 years held up
And I did see Noble Spitfires 5. And yeah, I talked about this a little bit earlier. So I did talk about it during the stream. So just wanted to let you know, appreciate the 5. And I'm going to hop on this stream over on Locals. It's in the pinned post if you guys want to join us over there. So I'm going to hop on there for a few minutes and talk with them and see what's going on. So for those that are going to tune in, I'll see you guys over there. Have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.